Hi there, it's Carrie from Stamp with CT. Good morning. We are on day 5 of our Christmas in July series, and I'm really excited about the project I have for you today. I'll wait just a second to see if anybody is able to hop on with me live. Now, I am also uploading these videos to YouTube, so if you're watching on YouTube, I appreciate you. Please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you'll get notifications of when I upload a video. And if you're watching the replay, please say replay so I know you stopped by. And of course, if you're here with me live, please say hello. Glad to have you here with me. Going to craft for just a few minutes, and we're going to make a little project today that would make some great gift packaging. You know, at the holidays, it's all about the presentation of our gifts, and a lot of Stampin' Up! Products can help you with that. Good morning, Tricia. Hi, Joanne. So glad y'all are here this morning. So we're going to get started right away. We're going to do things a little bit backwards today. I don't have the actual project created yet. It's just something what I know we're going to be doing, but we need to do some stamping first so things can dry. And I'm so excited to share with you, we're using Gilded Leafing today. So Gilded Leafing is beautiful. And you know, especially at the holidays, the metallics make things extra special. So we're actually going to create some pine cones. And I've already made a couple, but I want to show you how I got that beautiful gold on there and how I used one ink pad to get 2 different colors of ink. So we've got this pine cone image, and I'll show you in just a minute which stamp set this comes from. So it's a 2-step stamp. I'm going to ink that up, and then, oops, I think I may have grabbed the wrong stamp first. Let me just test them right quick. No, I had the right one. So we'll ink it up, and I'm going to stamp off just on a little scrap of crumb cake cardstock. And then I can come in and put the pine cone image just with that 2nd generation of ink, so it's a little bit lighter. Now I'll take that more detailed stamp and we'll come in full strength with it. See if I can get us lined up here. And look how beautiful that detail is, and it was so simple to do. But that one's a little bit wonky, but that's okay because in nature, pine cones are all different. So I'll move my ink pad and my stamps out of the way, and I'll be able to show you next, I'll move this little scrap too, how I do this gilded leafing. So I guess it was the mini catalog back in the spring when Stampin' Up! Came out with a gilded leafing. And it comes in a jar, but I have found keeping it in this little container has really helped me keep it from getting everywhere. It's easier to work with. And I've lost my paintbrush. There it is. So I just have some little paintbrushes that I purchased on Amazon to help me with this. You can use our gilded leafing. Let me open it up so you can see how gorgeous it is. So cool. Now this is just barely a portion of a jar. I actually shared with some people in a class when I first got my jar of gilded leafing. I've used it many times. I've done a class with this, and I still have quite a bit in my container. So it goes a long way. But I liked having it in this little container versus the jar that it comes in. And that just helps me keep it all in the container, and when I'm using it, it makes it a lot easier. So with this gilded leafing, you can use really any adhesive. We have something called heat and stick powder. It looks a lot like embossing powder, and you use it with the Versamark ink pad, that sticky ink. You can also use Gilded Leafing with any of our adhesives. I should not have gotten rid of that. Let me put a little bit of glue out. Just want to make sure I don't get too much glue. So I'm just kind of coming in some of the little shadow areas and adding a little bit of glue. And that's how I put this Gilded Leafing on. So it doesn't take much, and with the liquid glue, I don't want to put too much because it needs to dry. So we can use our tear and tape adhesive. Just stick that in there, and it's going to stick to where I put adhesive. We've done this with, tear and tape. That was really cool. So you can tell it gets a little bit messy, but it is so worth it. I've already got it jumping out of my container there, back in there. So now what I'll do is just kind of press that leafing onto my pine cone. Maybe brush away a little bit of the excess here. And off of my hand. My friend Betsy, I wasn't going to do Gilded Leafing, and then I saw my friend Betsy creating a project, and she made it look super easy, and it really, really is, but it's messy, you guys. Okay, so we've got a lot of that off. We're gonna let that dry a little bit, and then we'll work with it again. So you can see I've got a couple little pieces flying around, but that's okay. So that is how I got that beautiful gold on there. So let's look at some of the products we're using today while that dries. The Pinecone Stamp comes from this beautiful Christmas Seasons bundle. This actually is part of the Painted Christmas Suite collection, and it's a mega suite. There are 2 stamp die bundles in this suite, and I just have this one. These are called, I believe, seasonal labels dies, and so that's where I have my pine cone dies in both sizes that I'm able to die cut those images and some of the foliage as well. So this is a beautiful stamp set, and you've seen the Painted Christmas Designer Series paper. I'll have a little piece of it today as well. We are also going to be using this beautiful cherry cobbler and gold ribbon. It is just stunning. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to use my Gilded Leafing on my pine cones to really pull from that. We're also going to be using the Kraft gift boxes. So they come in a package of 10. They come flat like this, and you just assemble them. They already have the adhesive attached. Super simple. You just fold on the score lines, and when you're done, you have a box that looks like this. So I measured it early. It's about 6.5 by 4 3/4 and about 3/4 of an inch deep. So there's so many things that you could use this little box for. I know it will fit 5 or 6 cards and envelopes. So if you wanted to make a gift set of cards, you could certainly put them inside. You could also fit a pair of Christmas socks, a tie. Of course, homemade goodies would be nice. Candy, you could definitely wrap some candy with Designer Series paper and make it coordinate. That would be really nice. Maybe a little journal that you've decorated. So a lot of times we need little things for stocking stuffers or for someone at work. Maybe just a little gift for our postman, UPS man, pharmacy staff, people that provide service to us. It's nice to recognize them. So something like this where you really package it up nice would be really a nice little gift. Okay, I think I've shown you all of the products that we're using today. So let's check in on our little pine cone and see, oops, did y'all see that go flying through the air? See if I can get any more of this off. I may have put a little bit extra glue this time. The glue is still a little bit tacky, But you can see, had I put a little bit finer bit of glue, it would have a different look to it. So that's pretty much how that one's going to turn out. And then of course I would just take that over to the die cut machine, or you could certainly die cut it ahead of time, and then it would be ready to go. So let me move this stuff out of the way, grab my pine cones that I've already done, and we'll get our project put together. So we'll bring in our little gift box. I also have a 12-inch by about 1.25 inch piece of the Designer Series paper. You saw me make a card with this the other day, a couple days ago. And with Designer Series paper, it's super easy just to wrap it around to make a belly band. You want it snug, but not so tight that it won't move back and forth, because you'll want to be able to, or your recipient will want to be able to move that and get their little goodies out. So I'm going to use a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus just on the end here. Or a lot. That's a lot of Stampin' Seal Plus, isn't it? It's a strong adhesive. We'll wrap this belly band back around, making sure I didn't go too far with that. I may have. Let me pull that back just a little bit, because I don't want to seal it to the box. I just want to seal it to itself. And we'll just pull that around and line it up, and that will make a nice belly band for our box. Now I went ahead and die cut a label out of white cardstock, and I'm going to use it, I think maybe this way, and I'll just, before I start that, I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal Plus on here as well. And I'm going to bring that beautiful ribbon in, get some idea how much I need, because I'm just going to kind of swoosh that across that label. Just start decorating. I want a pretty good length of ribbon. I wish you could see this ribbon in person. It is just stunning. I know what I wanted to tell you also. I discovered if you have a friend that's a crafter, 2 bolts of ribbon will fit inside this box perfectly. So that's fun. If you have a crafting friend that you need a gift for. Okay, let's come over here and start building. We're going to put some Stampin' Seal Plus on this little pine cone. Now I would use Stampin' Seal Plus or tear and tape, because I want this to stay, and with it being a 3D item, I definitely want it to be secure. And then take a pine cone here, one of our small ones, and add it with a dimensional. And so, you know, pine cones, they kind of grow all different directions. We're just going to add them. Y'all are not going to believe how quickly this project comes together. It's pretty awesome. Okay. And then I have one of those little sprigs of holly that I stamped the other day. I had a couple extra of those. So going to put a little glue dot on the end of that. And that way I can just kind of slide that underneath one of my pine cones. Now let me see if I want it over here. I think that looks pretty. So cherry cobbler, early espresso, and gold. What a beautiful combination. Now you could certainly cut some greenery. You could do, you know, tuck those little sprigs in there as well. But I think that I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm going to take some more Stampin' Dimensionals, trying to figure out where my label will go, and put a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals right on my belly band. By doing it that way, I don't have to worry about going over the edge and adhering it to my box instead. All right. So we can just put our little label right on. And just like that, you guys, we've got a beautiful gift packaging. You could certainly add some embellishments if you wanted to, a little bit more shine. We have the gilded gems. Of course, you can color any embellishment with Stampin' Blend so that you have a coordinating embellishment, but isn't that just so pretty? Quick and easy to do, and then just slide a little gift inside and you're ready to go. You could do this for neighbors, friends, anybody that you wanted to. So that's our project for day number 5. I hope you love it. Tomorrow, we're going to work on a little something to go inside of this gift box. And tomorrow I do have to work, so I will be with you at 12:15. Just a quick video on my lunch break. And then Friday is already the end of our series. So Dale will be with me, and you are not going to want to miss the little box that he has created. It's super cute. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow at 12:15.